So welcome, and today we're gonna make a platformer engine that's really useful for your Scratch projects. Now what platformer is, basically it's like a man or a character that's going through obstacles and jumping through them and avoiding spikes, just like the Mario game if you have played it. So you have like walking on the land and then jumping and then avoiding those spikes and all. So that's pretty much what a platformer is. So first thing that we're gonna do is we're just gonna delete this costume and make this little square right here, okay? Now after making this square, maybe I'll just now don't go to the looks. I know that those colors don't contrast, but yeah, you could just style them just as you want. Now we'll drag a when click forever and two if blocks, okay? Then we're gonna create two variables for this sprite only. So first will be X, and the second will also be for this sprite only, and that will be called Y. Okay, so we have these two variables here, and we're gonna drag when key dash is pressed. So we're just gonna make a right arrow and a left arrow. Now since we are making this WASD also, we could just duplicate that and make it D, as you know, it's D. Now we're gonna make this thing here left arrow and this thing A, so we don't need this block. Now we are gonna set we're gonna change X by 0.5, and right down below we're gonna change X by minus 0.5. Now after doing that, we'll just put in a set X to dash block. We're gonna drag in a multiplication thingy and type in 0.9. Now to make this really work, we're gonna make a change X by X block. So this here is pretty much the left right thing of a normal platformer. Now as you can see, it's pretty smooth and glidey, okay? But if you just use the other way, so what it will do is it won't be very smooth and it will just not look good, okay? Now comes for the Y. We're gonna drag in an if block and we're gonna drag in unsensing thing. Now before we do this thing, we're gonna make a sprite called ground, or maybe even level. Okay, so we're just gonna make it really black and we're gonna make this platform and a platform like that. We're gonna make both of them 0, 0, okay? And we'll be making this to go to front layer, okay? Yeah. So here we are, and now in this if statement we're gonna drag this touching level. Then what we're gonna do is change Y by 0.5. Now comes for the kind of like difficult part. Not exactly, but now you have to duplicate this like 8 times, okay? So whoops, so so we have duplicated this 8 times. Now you can even count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there we go. So now what will happen is, whenever the gravity is acting upon this little cube right here, what it will do is, whenever it's touching the platform, it will just stop here and it won't go through the platform. Okay, now one of the things that's really good in platformers is wall jumping. Now I'm not telling that platformers do need wall jumping, or they are like really good and they should just use it everywhere. I'm not telling anything like that, but wall jumping is mostly found in Scratch projects, and I don't know more about the other games, and um that those are made by programming languages, like other programming languages. So yeah, or whatever. So we're gonna drag in an if else block, and in that we're gonna drag in if key space, or like we're just gonna drag in an or, and an if up arrow or W, as you know, is pressed, then we're again gonna drag in an if else block, and in that if else block we're gonna see if x is greater than 0 or not. So I'll explain you this whole concept, so don't worry, don't panic, and I'll explain this to you soon. And then after that we're gonna take a set x to 7, -7, and else we're gonna set this to 7. Now and also we're gonna set y to 10. Okay, now how will this work is, if you're touching the ground and pressing the up arrow or W key, it will just check if it's going to the right or it's going to the left. Now if it's going to the right, it's gonna bounce. Okay, so for that bounce effect you need to set the x to -7. That will push it to the left side if you're pressing the right arrow key, and the same goes and vice versa. Okay, and of course you gotta set the y to 10 because you just don't want to bounce it, like, right? You're gonna like just jump up, right? So that's pretty much it. And in the else section we're gonna drag in a set x to multiplication sign, and we're gonna set x to x multiplied by -1.3. Okay, now next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna make the set x to x. Okay, my bad. It's change x by x. Then we're gonna set x to 0 again, and we're gonna then set x to x divided so we're gonna make this x divided by 5. Okay, now instead of this I'm gonna drag in a change x by block. Okay, and after we do that, right after we're gonna make a change y by -4. Okay, so that's pretty much our wall jumping script. Okay, so now comes for the time for gravity. Okay, so let's get started for gravity 2. Right at this end of the loop, we're gonna drag in a change y by say -0.5, and then simply just put change y by y. Okay, so let's just check this out, and it's lagging because it's not proper. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna drag in an if block, and in the if block we're gonna drag in a touching level block, and in there we're gonna set y to multiplied by -1.25. Oh, okay, it might be 0.25. Okay, and then we're gonna drag in a change y by y block. Then we're gonna duplicate this thing and just remove the set x thing, and we're gonna duplicate this one more time. Yeah, so now we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 things. Okay, looks like our platformer is ready. We're gonna just drag this up, and you can see it is really great. Okay, so you put it right here, and now the thing is that we also need to put a set x and set y to 0 block, because that will help a lot. Okay, so as you can see, it even bounces. Okay, so so that's pretty much the code for all the gravity and the movement. But now comes the jumping. Okay, so you just can't jump right now. Okay, so for that we're gonna drag in an if block, and we're gonna drag in when here it is. We're just gonna duplicate this because we're lazy. Okay, and let's just oh gosh. Okay, so we're gonna put it there and put that to there, and we're gonna set y to say 10. Now if you just run it right now, it won't work, because it will be in midair. So for that, what you need to do is change y by -1 plus change y by 1. So let's check it now. Okay, so and one thing over here is we also need to drag an and block, and we're just gonna put a touching level block. So if you just test it out right now, it won't work, because you're not actually touching the ground. You're actually 1 pixel above of the ground. So you're gonna just submerge in, and then so now you can jump. You can wall jump. Okay, easy, and perfect. Okay, and it works pretty cool. Okay, it works really easily now. Now you can just simply duplicate the level and add spikes. Okay, and just 0 0. Now you can just add spikes. So for that you can just select a gray color, okay, and make it a spike shape thingy. Maybe we'll just make this smaller, okay, and then we could just duplicate this, okay, duplicate this, and we'll just remove this black pieces right there. Okay, so now we have spikes, but as you can see, our player is able to go through the spikes. Now for that case, you're just gonna need another if block. If you are touching spikes, then you gotta die, okay? So we're gonna make a block die/respawn, and after making that, we're just gonna like put it right there, and we're also gonna put it in the starting of our script because we want a player to respawn. Okay, now after doing that, you could just pick a location, and you could just do that, and yeah, you could just die/respawn, and if you want, you can just make a variable named kills. So we're gonna change kills by 1, and initially we're gonna set kills to 0. Okay, so let's check it out, and as you can see, if you touch the spike, you automatically respawn and your kill counts gets higher. Okay, so according to that, you can just design your own levels. Okay, so now there's this pro tip that if you want to make trampolines, you can simply duplicate this and remove this and the end block, and just press and just change this to touching trampolines, and then you could just pick a number of your choice. The bigger the number is, the more it will jump. Now I'm really thanking you guys for watching it so long, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.